Well, how's everybody doing today? Well, we're on the back end of this storm. It's Friday afternoon. They have, well, guess, depends what station you listen to. One said the blizzard warning has been lifted. Another one says we're still blizzard warning. All I know is this storm, they have until 1 a.m. Saturday. Today could be another, well, northern part of Erie County, 6 to 12 inches. Crawford County, 2 to 4 inches. And we're close to Crawford County, so we're probably looking at anywhere from 6 to 8. But I'm just trying to open up these driveways a little bit at the moment. This is absolutely the worst frickin' snow. I don't know how much more I'm going to do. Every time I turn around, I'm getting spinning. It's got that packed layer underneath there now. It's just at the right temperature where it's kind of thawing out, which will be by Monday. They got temperatures in the 40s and rain for Monday. Like I say, right now I'm not doing anything too drastic to open up these driveways. Like right now, might get stuck right here just doing this. I'm just trying to get them opened up so it couldn't be passed through. Yesterday I had to put the blade on the tractor. I'm having a hell of a time just pushing this stuff. We had twice the snow in the driveway yesterday. Heavy. So I knew I was going to have problems. Like I say, this is more than enough. And I ended up having to put the chains on the tractor because I couldn't even push it with the tractor. Like this here right now. Just getting the path. Tomorrow I'll probably get the tractor back out and push everything back once the storm goes completely through. At least that's one thing. We haven't been blistery cold. It's been staying up in at least the low 20s. We had some teens, but that's kind of the problem too. It's not freezing up. Yeah, I say that's about all I'm gonna do. This is too hard on the truck. Doing a different plowing across the pavement or frozen ground. And I'd rather stop before I get stuck. I almost did the heifer barn. I almost got stuck there. Got out on the road, I couldn't get backed up. Finally it spun itself through. I gotta let this charge up here a little bit before I shut it off. I think I've shown this before, but you raise the plow, just watch the upper gauge there on the right. Turn it on. That needle just goes down. So It's a hard draw on the battery. So I got let that charge up there a little bit. Having enough problems. Well, it's Sunday and the storm has passed. It hasn't been too bad today. I mean, it's just a muddy mess here now. It's warmed up. It's got to be near 40 here right now. I guess first of the week here tomorrow or so, they got rain in the forecast. So a lot of this is going to be gone. But I just got done plowing this part of the driveway out. I've only been plowing enough to get in and out, not worrying about much. But I use this because this is heavy wet snow. And since I got the chains on the tractor, I ended up putting my field type chains on. They were the first ones I grabbed, and they got a bigger hook to them than the other chains, so they're easier to get connected. And as heavy as that snow was the other day, I didn't want to be using the truck for all that. You know, it's good for about 8 to 10 inches. You get any more than that or heavy wet snow, it becomes an issue. But so that's why the other day I put the back blade on my John Deere. So I had a 115. It's where it's supposed to be, deer in the rear, I guess. But we got not in a video on any of that because I don't have no runners or anything on this, and everything's softening up. I'm hooking the driveway, so I gouge that all up. So I got to work the 3-point hitch. Can't hold everything, do everything at the same time. So, but we got that opened up. This up here. Got this plowed out. When I got hay for the heifers yesterday, that was a real treat coming up through there. And it's, well, like I say, it doesn't look all that deep. It was probably twice as deep yesterday. It's been chewy and bald tires on the skid steer. It was fun getting up through there. So, I don't think I'm going to do it today. I might, since I got skids on that plow, see what happens. I might scrape this out. It needs to be scraped before it freezes again, so I ain't going to worry about it too much. I mean, the truck's sitting on a sheet of ice there right now. So, but we got the majority of it off. Most of the snow's come off the roof here now. I wasn't too worried about it. But there's a couple areas you could see the sagging inside, but from what I've seen over the years, it can sag quite a bit. The thing is, I need to be cleaning this barn here this week. If weather cooperates, it's supposed to stay up in the couple days in the 20s, but it's supposed to be mainly 30s and 40s. But now I'm going to have to back the manure spreader all the way down and around to get to the back to load manure because my driveway through here is plugged up, and I'm not going to screw around to dig that out. So I was going to decide, that's what I need. I need the weather to cooperate a little bit to get some of the snow down, so maybe I can haul it out on a hay field out back here. If not, it's going to go be dumped off in a pile somewhere. But that's one job. And then that thing there. What the hell's going on with that? That's one reason why I wasn't using the truck today too. My lights on the plow ain't working. There's something in the plug. Thought I had it all cleaned out and everything was working fine. Worked fine the first day, but ever since then I don't have no lights. And you gotta get that plug in just the right spot. I don't know. I'm gonna try taking some zip ties and pulling it, because if you push it in, it seems to start working. But I don't know if that's causing another problem. The other night we went to fed the heifers. I come back, or not the heifers, the cats over in the other barn. We got the heifers down here, and pulled in the yard, go to shut the truck off, and it won't shut off. I can turn the key, pull the key out of the ignition, and it still stayed running. So I monkeyed around. I ended up pulling the battery cable off, and it still ran, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense other than that the alternator's still running. It's putting current through there. But the key should cut that circuit, so I don't know what it is. I've looked online, tried to figure some stuff out. And it's not the first time this happened. Earlier this year, we were sitting in the house, like I say, about 11:30 at night, and I heard something outside and saw like lights. Couldn't figure out what was going on. Thought somebody was outside there. Come out, my truck's running. Started itself and was sitting there running. A year ago, I was in the barn doing something. I heard something outside, and here the truck was trying to start. It was turning over with nobody in it. So I know there's something with these GM trucks, or GMCs, or GM trucks, I should say, Chevy and GMCs. With the key switch, I've heard before there, you don't want to have like a ton of keys on there, because all the weight pulling down on the ignition switch screws something up in there. Well, I just got the key. I don't have no other keys on the chain. It's just the key for the ignition. And so I don't know if that's part of that deal, that something's wore in there and that needs to be taken care of, or there is a recall on this truck for the airbag. And I don't know if that has something to do with like the, what do they call it, a clock spring. There's a spring in your steering wheel that affects a lot of electronic functions in your column, how it keeps it connected there, I guess. I think it's called a clock spring. Anyway, maybe it's something with that. But that night it wouldn't shut off. It finally shut off, so I left the battery unconnected there for 10-15 minutes. I hooked it back up and I started the truck up and it still wouldn't shut off. Pull the battery and it finally shut off. So I left the battery off all night, and then the next day I connected back up. It's been running fine ever since. So it's going to be one of them things. Probably going to have to take it somewhere so they can put it on their scan tool. Well, what it is, I don't know. But that's another thing I got thinking. I know earlier, well, when I was over at the feeding the cats, when I came out, my lights weren't working on the truck, so I wiggled a plug on there. So I don't know, maybe it sent a shock wave or short through there or something, and caused that. Caused a glitch in the computer. I don't know. I hate these fucking electronics. I think electronic ignitions are fine over points, but all this computerized stuff, modules. It's always a module or a sensor. It's never an actual component anymore. So that's the next thing I check out. I don't know, maybe by later this week I'll have to plow off the truck anyhow. At least for the next week to 10 days, there ain't really no severe weather. It's supposed to stay warmer, so a lot of the snow is going to disappear. Feed these morons. And that's something that's probably going to have to change. Since I got the chains on the Ford, I don't know if I don't want to take them off anytime soon if we're going to keep getting snow. So if I haul shit, I might be using this. Since I don't have chains on it, because the road's going to be bare. It's just going to be the field or the driveway. It just depends if I'm going to cut across and go into the hayfield across the road, or if I got to go up and down the road. So, and this next thing, after this bale of hay, I'll have to pull this out and move some more hay around. Feed my second crop, I guess. Do a cold start on this, count down. This usually ain't too bad. Now what the hell happens to this thing here in the last couple of years? It gets down in the teens, fuel will gel up in this skid steer. Doesn't affect nothing else. Diesel fuel's treated the same for everything. But I gotta put that, if I put fuel in this thing, I gotta put that emergency 911 in with it, or else it'll be gelling up every time you turn around. Nothing else will though. Yeah. And yeah, I guess I'll have to pause this. I cut them strings off. I don't have nowhere to set the phone, so I'll come back when I get that done for them. Yeah, these are taken care of for now. Oh, shit. Damn it. Every time my right foot drops further than I expect it to drop, it shoots right up my back, or up my thigh, into my back. So I'm worried about with all this ice and stuff now. There's no way I'm hunched up and everything. I don't think I can catch myself. If I slip and fall, I might end up taking myself out this winter, just walking to the barn. But yeah, I gotta get this cleaned out. Wish I could find a decent feeder. They waste too much hay here. But I guess if I'm not selling it, don't matter. It'll be better off just going back out on the field. That's the only thing that pisses me off. One year I have tons of good hay. No rotted on it, never rained on. Didn't mold under the tarps. You know, if you're stacking when they're damp, it'll mold on the outside. Always have hay to waste anyhow. I mean, not quite that much. But this year it was nice to feed it, unwrap it to feed, and I'm throwing in feeders. Like I say, I don't know if I'm actually losing all that much hay compared to what I normally lose, because like I say, when I stack it up in a tarp, you got them 3 bales on the bottom. They always end up about that much rotted stuff. Usually it sweats a little bit in between. I mean, you might get like that much around the outside or in between bales or something. And what they don't eat, I mean, a lot of this stuff I'm feeding here now is the later stuff I baled, which was getting stemmy. But this would be the stuff that they didn't eat that we would just push through and bed them with. So I'm sure there's a little more waste this way, but I don't know if I'm actually losing all that much hay overall. It's just a lot of it's good hay, and if it wasn't a feeder, they'd eat a lot more of it instead of waste it. But what do you do? So let's put the bucket on the skid steer and scrape this out maybe. This is too hard to scrape with the back blade because the damn thing is uneven through here. It's concrete right here, and it's wavy, and got ruts in here. So at least got the majority of the snow off, so what's here will melt off. It'll be a slimy mess. But yeah, I ain't gonna try to dig that out. I'm actually a little bit surprised. I am a little bit worried about that far roof over there. It ain't got the best bracing in it. But there's no way in hell I can climb up there to try to shovel that off, and that's not the worst it's ever been, so. It's to the point if that collapses, it collapses. I ain't gonna worry about it. But that's what happens. The winds come across this way, they get over the tall roof there, and they sit there and swirl. And the next thing you got, I mean, from that roof up to the next roof is like 3-4 foot. So you get a snowdrift on that. And it ain't the best of bracing in that roof. It ain't gonna take much weight. And there have been roofs that collapsing up north of me here, so I haven't heard nobody locally. And again, like I say, most of the worst stayed north of us and west of us. I mean, we still got a share. I'm sure we got a good 3 foot, maybe 4. I know they're talking over 6 foot north of us, up around Erie. In fact, I think right now, we got more snow here in the last, well, roughly week than we got all of last year. And this is nothing abnormal for this area, actually. I mean, this is the weather we get normally. The last 2 years have been the abnormal. But you know, I don't worry about the rest of this for now. But I got done what needed to be done, so yeah, it's just another boring day. Ain't much you can do. Ain't much I want to do, so ain't much. I finally got my check for a last load of corn. So now I can got everything I need to start getting these numbers together to get that video I've been saying I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. Just I wanted to wait until I got that. I ain't too happy with that last check, but we'll see until I look at the numbers. I mean, what are you going to do? So, I guess I'm just rambling on here for nothing. So thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you later. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And hopefully I'll be back with some others. Hopefully hauling some shit somewhere. So we'll catch up with y'all later.